Durk Devontae Banks, better known as Lil Durk, is a name synonymous with the gritty realism of Chicago drill music. Rising from the tough streets of Englewood, Durk's raw talent and emotional depth propelled him to hip-hop stardom. His music, often reflecting the harsh realities of his upbringing, resonated with millions. Durk's ascent wasn't without its struggles. He faced legal challenges early in his career, serving time for gun possession. However, his music became a beacon of hope, offering a glimpse into a world many could relate to. His collaborations with Drake and other industry heavyweights solidified his place as a force to be reckoned with. Durk's success reached new heights with a Grammy Award, a testament to his artistry and impact. He became a voice for the voiceless, a symbol of resilience and ambition. His story, one of overcoming adversity, seemed to promise a brighter future. Yet, a shadow loomed on the horizon, threatening to derail everything he had built. August 2022, the upscale Beverly Center in Los Angeles became the backdrop for a violent confrontation, shaking the hip-hop world. A shooting erupted, leaving one man injured and reigniting a deadly feud. At the center of it all, Lil Durk. The victim, Saviaya Robinson, was caught in the crossfire of a targeted attack aimed at rapper Quando Rondo. The incident was not an isolated event. It was believed to be a retaliatory act stemming from the tragic 2020 murder of King Von, a close friend and collaborator of Durk's. King Von's death sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community, fueling a cycle of violence and revenge. The Beverly Center shooting, with its alleged ties to Durk, cast a dark cloud over his success, raising questions about his involvement and the price of fame. The incident thrust Durk into the center of a legal storm. Allegations swirled, and the question on everyone's mind was, how deep did Durk's involvement go? The answer, it seemed, lay buried beneath layers of gang rivalry, music industry politics, and street code. What began as a shooting investigation quickly escalated into something far more sinister. The authorities unveiled shocking allegations against Lil Durk murder for hire. The charges painted a chilling picture of a calculated plan to silence a rival. Prosecutors alleged that Durk, driven by the desire for revenge for King Von's death, conspired to have Quando Rondo killed. Using interstate facilities to coordinate the hit, Durk was accused of orchestrating a violent act that crossed state lines. The weight of the charges was immense. Conspiracy to commit murder for hire carried a potential life sentence, a stark contrast to the glamorous world of music awards and chart-topping hits. The indictment further alleged Durk's involvement with firearms, adding another layer of complexity to the case. Durk's legal team vehemently denied the allegations, claiming the government's case lacked concrete evidence. The charges, they argued, were based on flimsy connections and unreliable witnesses. A legal battle was brewing, one that would pit Durk's fame and fortune against the full force of the law. The investigation into the murder-for-hire plot led authorities to Only the Family, OTF, Durk's own record label and alleged gang. The FBI claimed OTF operated as a criminal enterprise, with Durk at the helm, directing members to engage in violence and intimidation. 5 other OTF members were swept into the investigation, facing charges related to the alleged conspiracy. The government's case hinged on the argument that OTF's loyalty was not just to music, but to a dangerous code of silence and retribution. Durk's attorneys maintained that OTF was a legitimate business, a family of artists working together to escape the cycle of poverty and violence. They argued that the government was misconstruing the bonds of brotherhood and loyalty within the music industry as evidence of criminal activity. The case against Durk and OTF highlighted the blurred lines between art and reality in the world of hip-hop. Was OTF a legitimate business, or was it a front for a criminal enterprise? The answer, it seemed, depended on who you asked. The long arm of the law caught up with Lil Durk in Florida, far from the recording studios and sold-out concerts. He was arrested and extradited to Los Angeles to face the murder-for-hire charges. A media frenzy ensued, with cameras capturing every move as he navigated the legal system. Durk pleaded not guilty to all charges, his legal team confident they could dismantle the prosecution's case. A detention hearing loomed, scheduled for December 12, 2024. The stakes were high. Durk's freedom hung in the balance. The prosecution planned to argue that Durk posed a flight risk and a danger to the community, seeking to keep him behind bars until the trial. His legal team, however, was prepared to argue for his release on bond, citing his strong ties to the community and lack of prior convictions for violent crimes. As the legal battle raged on, Durk's career was put on hold. Concerts were canceled, and his future in the music industry remained uncertain. The once promising trajectory of his career was now overshadowed by the looming possibility of a life sentence. As the murder-for-hire case unfolded, a separate but potentially connected incident came to light. Stephon Mack, a Chicago man, was gunned down in broad daylight. The investigation into his murder revealed a web of gang violence and alleged retaliation. Two individuals, Anthony Montgomery Wilson and Preston Powell, were charged with Mack's murder. Prosecutors believed Mack's death was in retaliation for the death of Lil Durk's brother, OTF DThang Banks, who was tragically killed months earlier on January 27, 2022. While no direct connection to Lil Durk had been established in Mack's murder, the timing and alleged motive fueled speculation. Was this another example of the cycle of violence that seemed to follow Durk? Or was it a separate incident with its own tragic story? The investigation into Mack's murder continued, leaving more questions than answers. The potential link to Durk's brother's death added another layer of complexity to an already tangled web of violence and alleged gang activity. As of December 12, 2024, Lil Durk's legal battle continues, with his detention hearing marking a pivotal moment in the case. The outcome of this hearing will significantly impact his immediate future, determining whether he awaits trial behind bars or fights for his freedom from the outside. The murder-for-hire charges carry immense weight, with a potential life sentence hanging over Durk's head. The prosecution's case, built on allegations of conspiracy and witness testimony, faces scrutiny as Durk's legal team works tirelessly to dismantle their arguments. The case against Durk is far from over, with many twists and turns expected in the months to come. The evidence, the witnesses, and the legal arguments will all be meticulously examined as the justice system seeks to determine the truth behind the allegations. Lil Durk's story, once a tale of triumph over adversity, now stands at a crossroads. His fate, much like the complex world he raps about, remains uncertain. The outcome of this legal battle will not only impact his life but also serve as a stark reminder of the high stakes and lasting consequences that can accompany fame and fortune. Lil Durk's legal battles highlighted a recurring theme in the world of hip-hop, the intersection of fame and violence. From the streets to the charts, the genre has long grappled with the glorification of violence and its real-life consequences. The rivalry between Lil Durk and Quando Rondo, fueled by diss tracks and social media feuds, reflected a larger trend within hip-hop where beefs often escalated beyond music. The lines between artistry and reality blurred and the consequences could be deadly. Durk's case sparked a conversation about the responsibility of artists and the impact of their music. Some argued that artists should be held accountable for inciting violence, while others defended their creative expression, separating art from real life. The debate highlighted the complex relationship between hip-hop and society. The genre, born from struggle and social commentary, often reflected the harsh realities of its environment. However, the question remained, when does art cross the line into inciting violence, and who is responsible for the consequences?